The semen retention fallacy. Hey, it's Mo Salim here, and today I want to share with you what most guys get completely wrong about semen retention. Okay, a lot of guys come into it from NoFap, and I've made other videos about this, about how NoFap is not the same thing as semen retention. NoFap is about no porn, no masturbation, no orgasm. But semen retention is basically you can masturbate, you can have sex, but you can also have an orgasm without watching porn, obviously, right? So the real virus of the mind is that of pornography, which hijacks the reward system, which really takes over the areas of the brain that are meant to form a deep, fulfilling, passionate, real, authentic relationship with someone, with this rewiring of the brain whereby you become attached to experiencing that pleasure, and that becomes associated with the pixels on a screen. Okay, so what is the semen retention fallacy? Now, a lot of guys come into it thinking that they come into it thinking that this is the wrong thing to do, right? So I have to stop doing this wrong thing right now, and I just have to use my willpower. I have to stop at all costs, and it's just not the right thing for me to do, right? But what if, rather than having this frame of thought whereby you think you're doing something wrong and it's like a moral judgment on yourself, and you're caught in that vicious cycle of judging yourself, and then you're relapsing and then judging yourself even more, and then just going through this vicious cycle, to the end of which you look back and you're like, you feel like shit because you know that you're supposed to be doing something and you don't do it, and it's just a negative feedback loop, right? And that helps no one at the end of the day. It hurts you, you're being hurt, thereby you are unable to express your best version of yourself to the people you interact with, and it's just losses all around, right? So what if you could switch from thinking about semen retention as something that you must do or something that you have to do, and porn as something that's bad and wrong? Look at it like this, okay? What if you made that change not because something is wrong, but because it is no longer an accurate expression of who you are, right? We make votes for the type of person that we are based on the decisions that we make, based on the actions that we take. So when we come at this from a framework of that, I have to avoid doing the wrong thing, I have to stop doing the wrong thing, then it's taking so much force because your body is conditioned to go towards this thing. And then your mind is just a compilation of impressions, which is actually driven through the emotions. And then even though you know it's the wrong thing, then you still do it. Rather than that, you're like, I am the type of person that doesn't do this thing, right? Because it is no longer an accurate representation of who I am. So you practice semen retention not because watching porn is wrong or masturbation is wrong or because you're a bad person if you do it, but because it is no longer an accurate representation of who you are, okay? There are three aspects to the human experience which have been called many different names over the years. In religious circles, they call it the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, right? Scientists, they call it energy, matter, antimatter. You can go into psychologist circles, they're like the ego, the superego, and the ID, right? And then there is the physical, non-physical, and metaphysical aspects of the human experience. But really it's about, for me, I like looking at it as the mind, the body, and the spirit. Okay, so this is like the three aspects of the human experience, and we have to understand what is actually driving our experience right now. When we are driven to the mind, to the impulses, then we make the decision according to what the mind wants, which is just a combination of so much stuff, so much junk that we've picked up over the years based off the dribbles of information from childhood, from conditioning, from school, right? So that's not accurate. The body is just a compilation of food at the end of the day, right? You eat this food. When you're not eating this food, then your body is not in homeostasis, it's not in balance, it's stressed out, which then ends up driving the thoughts like that, and then it's a negative loop as well, right? So my recommendation to you is to get more in touch with that changeless, formless, timeless aspect of yourself, which you can call it the spirit, you can call it the witness, you can call it the observer, right? But there's an aspect of you that is outside your mind and outside your body. The fact that you can observe your thoughts means that you're not your thoughts. The fact that you can observe your body, the fact that every single cell in your body changes over a period of like 7 to 14 years means that you are not your body. Both of these aspects are something that you have. Both of these aspects are something that you experience. So the more you can get in touch with that higher part of yourself, to change this formless side of yourself, the more you can drive your decisions based on what is true to you. More you can create the type of person that you seek to become, because it's driven through your higher self rather than driven through the emotions of the body or the impressions of the mind, right? And this is really the importance of semen retention, because sexual energy is the most misunderstood aspect of society. Okay, we have this marketing going on where people are using sex to like sell products, and then there's like a taboo around it whereby there's so much judgment associated with it. At least in the culture that I was brought up in, it was like a lot of guilt, a lot of shame associated with it, right? And then it's also the most powerful force in the universe, as Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich. He talks about it in Outwitting the Devil, that a misunderstanding of the role of sexual energy is really at the root of a lot of dysfunction that goes on in our lives, right? So sexual energy is the source of your creative energy, which means that when you are depriving yourself of it, then you become driven by the mind, by the impulses of the mind, by the tendencies of the temptation of the body, right? Because your creative energy is being released. But the more you are retaining that creative energy, the more you can channel that towards experiencing that highest aspect of yourself, whereby you can drive your decisions through what your higher self wants, rather than being pulled this, that, and the other way by the impressions of the mind and the temptations of the body. And this is really the semen retention fallacy, because so many guys, like I said, are coming into it expecting to get something, or expecting to become more attractive, or expecting to become like, alpha male. And that was me for a long time, right? Because I was not in touch with the spiritual aspect of myself. And only when we can integrate these three aspects of the human experience, then we realize that it's not just a human experience. We are human beings, right? It's not that we are human having a spiritual experience. It's that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And when we can tap into that, a necessary stepping stone on the way to that is really to retain our sexual energy, so that we can create what we want, create who we are, and make decisions in alignment with who we are capable of being, right? So if that resonates with you, this Thursday, I'm going live. I'm going to be revealing the big picture model, which I call the Conscious Creator Manifesto, which really goes over everything that I've learned over the last decade or so, studying biohacking, studying personal growth, improvement, mindset, focus, and then integrating that with the ancient Eastern teachings of the Buddha, of Christ, of these great spiritual teachers that really have stood the test of time, right? These are the teachings that have really lasted 2,000 years ago. You can read that, pop psychology books about some other stuff coming out right now, and, the human mind is this, and then it's that. It's like there's so much stuff, even in nutrition, it's always changing. We don't know what the truth is. We're like, one day it's carnivore, the next day it's vegan, the next day it's like pescatarian. Like there's so much conflicting information out there. But when we can integrate the ancient spiritual teachings from the East, from Taoism, from Tantra, who also talked about semen retention and the importance of actually growing in our spiritual growth, right? When we integrate that, then we are functioning in harmony with the universe. Then we are creating the person that we are capable of being. We are living the lives that we are capable of creating, okay? So like I said, this Thursday, I'm going to be going live. I'm going to be sharing the big picture model. And if you have current leaks in the bucket of your life, this model will really give you the clarity that you need to get, really understand where that leak is and what you need to do to plug that leak, so that you can move in the right direction, get that forward momentum going rather than that backwards momentum whereby you're just going downhill. You can just reverse that on its head by understanding and pinpointing exactly where the leak is, right? So I'm going to be going live. This is actually a live class, which means that you have to show up live for it. I'll put a link below in the description, but check it out. It's going to definitely open your eyes to a whole new way of looking things, understanding what the difference is between people who create a lot of value in the marketplace and are living the lives of abundance versus the people that always have money issues, that are suffering from that, paying the bills, even can't even take care of themselves. How are they going to take care of anyone else, right? So check out the link below. I'll link out to it below. Like I said, it's going to be live. We're going to be coming into the webinar room. We're going to be interacting. I'm going to be sharing with you the biggest ideas, the most critical aspects that I've learned over the last decade or so of, like I said, the integration between biohacking, how to master your testosterone level so that you can master your body, how to master your focus, bring your mental clarity into harmony as well. And then of course, letting your witness really drive the decisions that are being made so that you can optimize the experience that you're having. Okay, so click the link below, check it out. And it's going to be a game changer. Would love to see you there and have a chat with you on the live webinar room. But with all that being said, I hope this has been valuable for you. Click the link below and I will see you on Thursday. Actually before that, because I'm doing daily videos in promotion for that. But yeah, click the link below and I'll see you there.